times. Oh, I can't find it right now. Hey, everybody. Adam Savage here in my cave. Good morning. It's a lovely start to the week, May 9th, 2022. And I have a project that's been sitting it's been sitting waiting for me to tackle it for months. A few years ago, I commissioned a wonderful machinist engineer named Victor Broadley to make a pulse rifle for me. Said pulse rifle I was just looking for because I had it like Friday, but somehow it's not immediately apparent this morning. At any rate, Victor built me the pulse rifle to end all pulse rifles, and I love it. And at the same time as we were making the deal for that, well, he also laid on me a full set of the original parts needed to make an Aliens motion tracker. I'm getting ratings all over the place. The motion trackers that the Colonial Marines are wearing. And since I recently did the Colonial Marines welder, I figure, you know what, it'd be great to cross this puppy off my list. So I've got the correct Kango. There's a lot of aluminum shavings on this because it was sitting to the left side of my mill, and shavings tend to fly off in that direction. But I've got the correct drill here. I've got the Hama viewer. Oh yeah, I've got the Edison Giacatoli toy. Oh, that's where that was. Okay. I've got the flash, the little trigger light, that guy, this one, this thing. Oh yeah, so many little dips and doodads. A couple of these guys, rifle sling holders. Yes, this is really important. Oh, yep. We got this and this. Oh yeah, this one too. On Instructables recently, or on there's been a couple of people who've made motion trackers that actually tracked motion, that were not just the prop from Aliens, but they actually did some bit of the functionality from Aliens. And I want that. I want that in my motion tracker. However, that's not going to happen in this one-day build. It will happen after this one-day build, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right? This guy, the calculator buttons. Dude. And by the way, said Casio calculator still works. Ah, there it is. It was sitting like facing this way, so I couldn't see it on the ground. This is Victor's pulse rifle. Ooh. With many railgun parts. It's impossibly heavy. It's freaking hilariously heavy. It is a magnificent piece. And once I finish this motion tracker, I'm going to have a pretty friggin' complete Colonial Marines outfit. I'm kind of psyched about it. So the reason that I was talking about the motion tracker as a real thing is because I actually collected some of the pieces necessary. But that kind of programming is way outside my skill set. I am, I believe, well known for my attempts to replicate the blaster from Blade Runner, Deckard's sidearm. And my very first attempt to replicate Deckard's sidearm is this. This is highly inaccurate, but accurate in some interesting ways. Shape, I got the barrel shape somewhat correct to silhouette. I was working from a VHS tape of a broadcast that I froze and did sketches from. That's how I did research back then. So we had no idea about how the barrel arrangement really looked on the Blade Runner pistol. But I had found as the main base of this pistol, this beautiful grip, this magnificent grip. And I bought it on a toy ray gun down in Chinatown. Sorry, on Canal Street above Chinatown in New York. And when I did the first video about that, people posted and pointed out to me that it was this gun. I have two of these in the original packaging, and this is exactly the gun that I purchased. I mean, this is the same make and model that I purchased, and it turns out to be designed by a wonderful Italian toy designer named Edison Giacatoli. And what's really surprising is that Edison Giacatoli shows up in two other really important and strange places in my life. One is with this thing, which is like the grenades from Alien is actually this little spy toy that fires these little rubber darts. And I had one of these. I bought one of these in the 80s because I really liked its shape. And then there was a Edison Giacottoli bow and arrow that also fired these little darts. And I used that for the base of this sculpture. So Edison Giacottoli shows up all over the place. And that's not even germane to this build. I'm going to put this away. Let's take a shot. This, I believe, is a king's ransom of the various pieces that make up the Aliens motion tracker. All the little bits and bobs with which to make one's own. Yeah. All right. There she is. I'm sure there's pieces missing. I'm sure I will be fabricating some of them from scratch. Let's get to it. The inside of this is really gross. Let's clean that up. Oh, yeah. Great. So now I can see sort of where things are at. These go here. These go here. We'll clean this out with the parts washer in a little bit, but for right now, how does that come out? I wonder. What I've got here is a little pin here that holds this in place. So I'm going to knock that out. Didn't even need the hammer, just fell right out. And that means that should pull out, and it does. And once that pulls out, how does that come out, I wonder? How did it get in there in the first place? Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Yep. And then once that is undone, it's lost its wanderlust. There we go. It's a nice torsion spring. Nice torsion spring out of there. We're going to keep all the parts we don't necessarily need separate. Let's crack open the sides of this thing. I don't know that we'll need this, but I'm holding on to it. This guy here we'll also get rid of. This guy we'll also get rid of. Now I'm going to show you why I love the parts washer. I recently got I love watching, like you probably do, I love watching those videos of people restoring old pieces of tech and tools on YouTubes. And I do too. I think I opened by saying I do. At any rate, I invested in a parts washer, which is a machine that uses reciprocating degreaser and a container to hold on to the degreaser and its output that I find tremendous, and I love using it. And what I've got here is an old gearbox of a tool that is packed with grease. There's a lot of ways to take care of that. In my opinion, the best one is the parts washer. I'm going to use paper towels to scoop out as much as I can, or tongue depressors, so that I'm not overly gunking up my parts washer. But besides that, I love this thing. All right. I don't need to make life too hard for my parts washer fluid. And if I let it sit with all this grease, I'd probably have to replace it very soon. So I'm hopefully extending the life of swapping out my part washer fluid by doing this. Oh, there's very little in there. Oh, no, there's a mother load. Okay. Dummy. Get the parts washer. Oh, you're failing already on me. All right. All right, lads. Here we go. I definitely need replacing anyway, but hopefully we'll get one last wash out of here. I want to see this, right? So first up, that gets sanded really flat. I have smoothed off the front. I have removed the material from these two holes. Step the next. Right. Oh. There it is. The hole is 1.875. Here. Just want to point out with a carefully scribed line on Sharpie and a disc sander, you can get a pretty frickin' round thing. Yeah. Right, I don't need to do that. I need to do this thing. All right, having previously potted in a 1/4-inch audio jack so that could plug in there, now it's time to add a pot to the middle of this bottom piece here. There we go. That's what I wanted. Yes. Good morning. Hello. You are who I wanted. The question is, well, maybe these. All right, I'm going to go with that and that. These can go here, and that can go there. Great. Okay, there's that. Now it's time to take apart the, okay, let's put this over with the other parts and pieces. Several parts on this kit come from the Vivitar Zoom Thyristar 2500. Don't know why that needs a Scottish accent, but oh, man, it's a better view. There we go. There we go. Ah, there it is. No, that's where the batteries were anyway. So I want to cut these entirely out. One linear pot and another linear pot. Big giant capacitor in there. Let's not get stung by this thing. Big capacitors can hurt. This thing gets cut entirely away, and then I guess the letters go underneath it. Great, okay. Great. So we got some CA glue in there. All right, so this gets cut there and there. So I'm just going to make this cut of my bandsaw. I'm going to cut that, then I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to use my disc sander to sand it flat. It's, yeah, we'll be right back. Okay. There we go. Oh, the Humma viewer. Here we are. All right, the Humma viewer comes in, and the switches go under there. I should have used more room for my switches, but you were probably yelling at me about it. Sorry. Great. There we go. That's reassembled. Now this sits on top of the Humma viewer. Comme ça. Need to move some stuff around. Let's get some thin CA glue. This stuff is normally terrifying, but it's perfect for what I need right now. I know I'm using more glue in this build than I normally do. Be careful with the thin CA glue. It will run on you. It will betray you. Okay. I've got the part attached to the side of the Humma viewer. I've actually not attached, but I've got a hole that accommodates it, and now I'm about to give it 3 screws to hold it on here. All right, next up is this little Hama. Boop, boop. That is it's a great little piece. It does seem that whoever the prop master was on Aliens, they went to a camera store and they got all the Hama stuff. Right, yeah, it butts right up against that. Excellent. Excellent. That worked out great. Beautiful. Oh, sheet metal screws. You're my jam. And it's straight. Hey, that's great. I'm going to drill out this matchbox power unit because this is also part of the build. Oh, right, I see. You still had some hanging chads. There we go. Gonna trim that down on my disc sander. We're back to this part, and this guy lives here, 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 here. Lives here. You live here now. Yeah, about there. You live there. Okay. And how do you hold in? Ah, 3 countersunk drywall screws. Why, yes, I can do that. Oh yeah, I just used a countersink drill to make those 3 holes. Excellent. We will increase your level of countersinkness because that's important. And the third one, I'm gonna get a little more countersinkness out of there. Yeah. I think this is too big of a rifle sling, but I might have another one. All right, I have my main components here. It's time to start painting. That's what it's time for. It's time to start painting. I'm gonna give everything a base coat of this NATO green in anticipation of the brown best. That sound you hear, that's one of my parts drawing over there. Some of these parts are, I'm sorry for moving stuff all around. I apologize. God, my hair, what the, okay. Hi, everybody. We're slowly moving towards completing this thing. I got some gluing to do, but mostly it's some painting of the parts before doing the final assembly. My biggest issue with most people's version of this prop is that they're too clean. Colonial Marines are filthy baggers. Filthy buggers. Oh, that's also interesting. Okay, cool. So, some painting now. right. Things are moving. Things are moving. I've got some details to put on, some tubing and some wires and things, but I'm getting readings all over the place, man. Yeah. God. Gosh darn it, I love that color brown best. This is a great color. Dude, I've always wanted a motion tracker. Always. It's been something I've been wanting to add. So I'm going to let this sit tonight, just as it is. That goes there. I have to look for some special wires at the house that I've got that match this. And then tomorrow I'm going to come in and add the last bits of tubing. Yeah, add the last bits of tubing. I'm going to add the last bits of tubing. And then we'll be wrapped on this puppy. I'm going to give it some weathering here and there. And there will be a further electronics episode of this where we go full bore on adding in a real motion tracker if we can. Yeah, that's going to be freaking awesome. All right. Good night. Not good night, but yeah. See you in a minute. I think this might be one of the last bits and bobs of this thing. I'm tapping the front. Okay, and then I'm gonna tap through there. And now I'm gonna put a screw in there. There we go, there's that. So now this guy, right, so this is how this will go here, hopefully get held there nicely, and then it'll come around and do that. So let's cut this there, let's see if that's long enough. Great. I think I can shorten that just a tad. Okay. I think, yeah, except for the electronics, that's a complete motion tracker. I know this is supposed to be brown. I'm leaving it orange. I don't like it brown. Everything brown. All right, let's do a little weathering on this guy. High spots. Always look for those high spots. Yeah, I'm doing a little more weathering than was on the original prop. That's just because I feel like it. Yeah. Nice. All right. Home stretch. I want a little bit of a wash around this. Basically. Oh. Wash around the base of this guy. Putting it on and taking it off, man. This is also why I like to clear coat things, because it makes a nice Makes a nice barrier coat to weather against. Don't ever be too regular with your weathering. Stay random. Stay frosty out there. Just even a little bit of dirt makes such a difference. I'm always saying that. That is like what I'm constantly banging on about. Let's make it real dirty in here. There we are. Oh, I'm sure I got some things wrong. I am sure I got some stuff wrong here, but I could not be more pleased. Yes, these are slightly different. I have made an in-universe motion tracker, not an absolutely 100% fidelity correct motion tracker. I will make a sling for it at some point. But here it is, all actual parts, and it feels like a real piece of equipment. I'm getting readings all over the place, man. Thank you so much for joining me for this one-day build. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and it did not disappoint. Victor, my friend, thank you for setting me up with this. All right, everybody, what a delight. Thanks for joining me for this one-day build, and I will see you next time. I have a life hack for you, fellow prop makers. When you are making something like this, which is entirely from stuff you have been assembling from flea markets and garage sales and eBay and Etsy and Reverb, etc. What's Reverb? Reverb is like eBay for sound equipment, and I've only just discovered it. I haven't bought anything there yet, but it seems pretty exciting. Anyway, it might be really old, I don't know. When you are assembling a found object prop like this, you are going to end up with lots of little extra bits and bobs. I recommend you save them all, as I have done, in this bag until the end of your project, because you never know. Oh man, you never know. For instance, aliens people know this, but for the lay person, this is a Hama camera shutter something or other. This is the box it came in. So here's the prop master, the prop maker, having gone to the camera store, gathered a bunch of stuff. They're looking around. They probably pull this out. They're like, hey, boss, what do you think of this? And boss is like, you know, could use a little thing on the side. Oh, hey, what about that? And he pop it on. There are all sorts of even tinier details that I have discovered that like other people might not have even seen. Little doodads. And there's nothing worse when you need that last little doodad and it turns out to be from something you had that you swept all that crap off your bench and threw it away. So I'm saving this until the whole thing is done. I love a clean bench at the end of the day.